Sweda, who's a political analyst, is joining us from Kisumu, and Gabriel Muduma as well. Both of them are on Zoom. Gentlemen, good evening. Good to see you. So both of you decided to take off and leave me in the studio because of the curfew. Weda?
Yes.
Decided to take off, eh?
No, I'm in Kisumu region. See, I told you this journey of the 6th presidency quest is on in earnest.
Listen, I want to pick up from Murimi Mwangi's story. And there's a conversation that perhaps there are talks that will culminate to Raila Odinga, ODM leader, and Deputy President William Ruto working together. And as I keep mentioning, these are conversations that we have almost every weekend. And when you listen to Murimi Mwangi's story, there is the feeling that perhaps there is an all-out scheme by the state to neutralize traditional Ruto-Raila political constituencies ahead of the 2022 election. Would you say that is the reason, or that is what may push these two to work together?
No, I think there are these statements which are being hyped, like Raila working with Ruto, Ruto working with Raila, because of the statements they've made. I think, first of all, the last time we spoke, Honorable Raila acted in anger. He sent his brother and Honorable Orengo to go and talk about them working with Ruto. That was said in anger after the Matungu debacle, and then feeling that there was a problem engineered by the state, especially Mr. Kibicho. So that was a statement spoken in anger. The chief chicken seller on the other side, to take thunder from the announcement of the alliance between Mudavadi, Kalonzo, Wetangula, to take thunder from it, he also responded and said, I can work with Ruto. I can work with Honorable Raila. I can work with it. So he took the thunder. It is not that there is honest consultation. These people spoke in anger. This feeling that the alliance is being formed now, it is just a smokescreen. There will be alliances after the passing of BBI. The key thing is BBI. These things are being arranged whether there will be BBI or not. So for now, Baba will be cajoled. They will plead with Baba to remain focused on BBI, to play within the team, and to come out as a member of the team until BBI passes. After the passing of BBI, you are going to see coalitions. You are going to see where even they are talking, but they are not talking who's going to be the prime minister. Where is our young president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta going? Is he going home or is around? All these things. So these things we are talking about are engineered by emotions.
It doesn't matter that John Mbadi, ODM chair, actually acknowledged that there was a phone call between Raila Odinga and William Ruto?
Don't believe Mbadi. When Mbadi talks, when these guys talk, if Oburu talks, please take down notes. If you hear Orengo in the forest somewhere quarreling, take down notes. But these others, they gather. How would you know that Raila is talking to Ruto surely? Are they in the same office where now Raila is saying, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm now calling the chief chicken seller, Sir William. Listen, surely Wakenambadi are also looking for relevance. I'm telling you, these people spoke in anger. Coalitions will be done after BBI. I don't think that the president is that less careful as to hurt Baba for now.
Muduma, that coalitions will be made right after the BBI. Is that a sentiment you share?
Well, all things remaining equal, I think I would tend to agree with that statement. But for now, you've already started seeing every politician is putting their ducks in a row. And I think at this point, what remains to be seen is who is talking to who. Now, we cannot forget the historic relevance that William Ruto brings to the table, both William Ruto and Honorable Raila Odinga. There is a statement which probably many people don't remember, and I think the Deputy President was in one of the interviews, I would guess probably with Citizen TV or one of your, or could be actually your station. And during that time, he mentioned that right after the elections of 2017, Honorable Raila Odinga actually reached out to him. And we don't remember the conversation that or what prompted Honorable Raila Odinga to reach out to Deputy President William Ruto. I mean, but that's what he said, and I'm taking his words verbatim. So if we are to continue with that conversation, you will see that putting up the political hat, that yes, there has been discussions. So I don't want my good friend Wakiliweda, to really strain much to explain that as being something which is out of this world. It can and it may actually happen that both Raila Odinga and Honorable William Ruto may actually recreate 2007. So where I'm seated, Linda, I do not think really it is that big of an issue if the two may come together. What do we say in Kenya, Linda? That politics is about interests. So we have to. This is an area where we have to wait and see. And going by the BBI, what we are seeing, should BBI pass, you still have a lot of, and let me repeat this for our viewers, you still have a lot of premium put in the presidency. And really, when I say the president, I'm still talking about the president and the deputy president, who, at this time will be, who actually constitute to making up the presidency. So there's still a lot of premium. And anybody wishing to be anywhere, I think those two seats are what will attract many people.
Whether Deputy President William Ruto said, I read in one of the dailies, he said he's ready to leave Jubilee and join UDA as a vehicle towards 2022. And you've said, look, we may not have coalitions right now. These coalitions will come right after BBI. What sort of coalitions do you foresee from where you sit? If I could make you a crystal ball.
I would see a coalition where you have the former Kanu bigwigs. That one you have Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, you'll have Gideon Moi, you'll have Kalonzo Musyoka. I think the president will force one of them to back the other. And then there will be a concerted effort to contain Honorable Raila within. I really don't think Honorable Raila will be released to go and team up with other people. But chances are that you will see a coalition of Mudavadi, a coalition of Kalonzo, a coalition of Wetangula, and the president himself. The person who will be left out is the chief chicken seller, Sir William Samoei Arap Ruto. Then it will also depend, Raila may lead a coalition outside. What I see is his biggest impediment may not be anything else other than if his body will not be strong enough to carry him through the rigorous elections. So that is why I say look at Mudavadi with 3 eyes. Look at with Mudavadi again. I said here that if you put in a house Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, Honorable Raila Odinga, the chief chicken seller, William Samoei Arap Ruto, you put the 3 of them, and Honorable Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has the sole vote that will make one president. He will give it to Mudavadi, but higher president would have easily given it to Gideon, but Gideon is still not in the upper radar. So it will Mudavadi, then you can go to Honorable Raila like that. So with that, you see where.
But whether you can't be speaking from both sides of your mouth. Yes. On one hand, whether you're saying, and perhaps I can throw this to Muduma, on one hand you're saying, look, they will not allow, someone will not allow Raila Odinga to form a coalition outside this group. On the other hand, you're also saying that if President Uhuru Kenyatta was to be given a choice of who to work with, he would work with Musalia Mudavadi. So if he picks Musalia Mudavadi, perhaps Raila Odinga would be uncomfortable, quote unquote, to be in that coalition, Muduma?
Well, that is true. If the president was to pick anybody else apart from Raila Odinga, Raila will bolt. And that is a given. You can take that to the bank. Raila is not going really to join somebody at this point when he believes his party, ODM, is really that big. And to an extent, ODM party is quite a large party. I mean, if you are to look at single entities as far as, individual parties are concerned, if you're not going to bring in coalitions, you will then agree that actually ODM is quite a big party. And, given the fact, given the numbers that we've seen in Parliament, ODM is, it's still the party to beat, when it comes to so many things. But going by just, again, Linda, your question, I honestly do not see Raila Odinga running to roll out a red carpet for any politicians at this point. Wow. That may not happen. I don't see it happening. Same way, I do not see the person of Deputy President William Ruto going out to roll a red carpet to support anyone at this point. These are two politicians who believe they have amassed serious support countrywide. And if you go by the interview that the Deputy President had the other day, where he said, there is no bigger coalition right now than the Hustler Nation. He actually mentioned those words in a live TV interview that I saw the other day with Jalash. And, just moving again to what the proponents of ODM have just said, Raila Odinga is going all the way to the ballot come 2022. So the issue of anybody probably waiting, and this is where probably my views and that of whether may actually get into a divergence. I do not have, or I do not support his enthusiasm when he said Raila will be hit to join. I don't see that happening. I do not see that happening. I think at this point, what he is doing right now is putting his house in order for preparation of 2022.
Okay.
And I honestly, again, Linda, this one I will tell you without fear of contradiction, I do not see Raila Odinga saying anybody tosha in 2022.
Whether there's no way ODM leader Raila Odinga is going to say anybody tosha this time around. Do you think so?
Now, Linda, let me tell you. Raila may, on his own account, say he is not running for the presidency. If he's in that situation, the president, his brother Uhuru Kenyatta, may not let him be in a different coalition other than the Nyumbani coalition. There are many reasons why Honorable Raila may say he's not running, please. So when we say this, please don't just think that he will be forced out. He may. He is 70-something years old, has been in and out of hospital. We are praying for him daily. I pray for him at 4 a.m. But you see, the prayers are there. So he may not be the 2007, 2013 Honorable Raila Odinga who can do 5 rallies in a day. So for him to make a serious impact this time, you would need state machinery and the president around him. Otherwise, with Kalonzo gone, with Mudavadi gone, with
Wetangula,
these other people like Wetangula, Joho, CEO, all these people, he is now left with Yunus Mohammed and a few. So that may be difficult. That may mean you talk about a coalition where you say, why can't you take the easy seat? Which one is the easy seat? Let's do one party. One party, ODM, one handshake party of Kenya, and that handshake party, please form the premiership or something. So let's not just say it must be. I really have started to see it differently, unless President Uhuru fully backs him.
Okay. Let's see how that plays out. And the reason why we're having the conversation touching on Deputy President William Ruto and Raila Odinga, and the conversation about whether or not they will work together, is because there's a new alliance that was announced this past week, One Kenya Alliance, comprising of Kanu chairperson Gideon Moi, Moses Wetangula, Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi. Let's listen into what they had to say. Then we have a conversation about the way forward for this team.
beginning of a journey with a clear purpose to unite this country through a transformative agenda that seeks to create equal opportunities for all Kenyans.
As one alliance, we are going to pull them out in order to give the Jubilee Party a head start and a sure win in those by-elections, because Jubilee is part of the One Kenya alliance.
This alliance will not field a candidate in Juja. We will support the Jubilee candidate as well. And this alliance will now not field candidates in Bonchari. We will campaign for Jubilee. In fact, if they invite us, we might show them some of the tricks that we employ, and it will be well. It will be well. So this is exactly the way to go.
Okay, so that happened this past week. That happened this past week. The leaders there forming the One Kenya Alliance having a conversation about the way forward. Weda, let me begin with you. So these leaders say, look, this is the only way we can unite Kenya. We are going to pull our candidates out of by-elections where Jubilee also has their candidates to give an easy passage to Jubilee. And they're saying they will campaign now for Jubilee candidates. And basically, Kalonzo Musyoka saying, look, even if they speak to us, we can give them tricks about how to work this thing round. But you have a new alliance saying we will work with Jubilee. Someone would almost think they're one and the same.
This new alliance is, they are trying to cut President Uhuru away from the Raila handshake. That is what they are doing. They want to grab him. Honorable Raila went into the Ruto-Uhuru coalition party. He plucked off the president and chucked out the deputy president. Now they are also trying to chuck the president from Raila. So they want Honorable Raila also to be out. So that is why they are in a hurry to announce some form of coalition and then to give some goodies to Jubilee. Oh, we supported you here, we supported you there. So please, because they think the president may not be in contention and they want him. On the other hand, the president may also be looking around and saying, if I was to leave the scene, who am I safe? In whose hand will we be safe? Will I be safe in the hands of Honorable Raila, that even before we disagree is already threatening to work with Sir William? Or will I be safe in the hands of Honorable Musalia Mudavadi?
And you've constantly said he is comfortable with Musalia.
What are you saying?
And you've constantly said President Uhuru Kenyatta is very comfortable with Musalia.
Yes, but Musalia may not have the ready numbers. He may not have the ready. The person who would face the threat is Honorable William Samuel Arap Ruto. That's the threat. So you look at it and you say, if I was to leave Musalia alone with Ruto, Ruto will eat him for lunch. That is why we say we need to have Tinga, so that he can bring down a few things. He is a big Tinga. That is, otherwise, if they were all popular, if Musalia could easily face Honorable Ruto and defeat him, I'm telling you, they will leave Tinga in the morning. But Tinga is needed because the threat is the deputy president. If the deputy president was to today announce that he's not running for any seat, he is now born again and is going to be bishop, I'm telling you, these people will court Sir William. They will go to Sigoi. They'll sleep there even for a week. So he is the biggest threat. These coalitions are because they fear him.
Okay. Muduma?
I still tell Weda again, please. Don't think that Honorable Raila Odinga will not have the energy come 2022. He just the other day compared himself with U.S. President Joe Biden. Joe Biden is 78, and he just won a term, to lead the greatest nation on earth. So please don't count Raila Odinga out. Having said that, I still think when you're talking about the One Alliance, also they are calling themselves, whether it's right in an extent when he says right now they are formulating to see how that coalition would work and how they are going to, amass grassroots support. Remember, Linda, Kanu, as we speak, is, I think, the only party which has serious grassroots support, not serious grassroots support, a serious network countrywide. When you go to Mashinani, you still find that old Kanu office. And I think if they were to, get to the nitty-gritty of it, and if they were to revive that machinery, then I think, and probably that's what they have in mind, that's what they want to bring to the fore and make this coalition one that can actually be a coalition, to be one that can actually marshal a serious presidential campaign. But having said that, there's also one thing which I think is trying to beat around the bush and trying to run away from. If you look at the person who many people are talking right now as safe hands, that one, comes to two people when you look at that one alliance coalition, and that is Musalia Mudavadi and maybe the person of Gideon Moi. Now, I am not saying the other two, Kalonzo and Wetangula, are not bringing any relevance in it. You saw in the 3 by-elections that we've seen in Kabuchai, Matungu, and Machakos, they really performed very well. And I think this is where now they are trying to draw and to really write their mark and say, guys, we need to show this country that we can get out and we can divorce ourselves from the tentacles of ODM and, in essence, the person of Honorable Raila Odinga. And on Kabuchai and Matungu, they have been able to do that. So I think coming to these other new by-elections, like the one in Kisii and the other one in Juja, I think we need to see how that one will play. And if they continue amassing the numbers, if they continue growing this support, and if they continue getting the support that they are getting from government, tell you what, in 2022, they will be a force to be reckoned with. Whether they'll be looking to, hitch that political mountain come 2022 between the team of Honorable William Ruto and Raila Odinga. We have to wait and see. But I can see this. I can see them being groomed as one alliance that will give any other coalition a run for their money. So please, at this point, I usually tell people, every person who says that they are running for president, or any coalition that starts out to look for the presidency, every person has a mathematical chance to win that coveted position. So it depends on the strategies that they employ. It depends on who they bring on their team. It depends on how well they are able to traverse this country to preach the gospel according to their manifesto. And at the end of the day, it depends on how many seats, mainly the National Assembly, that they are able to bring to the fore. That, in reality, is how you win elections in this country.
Okay. Weda Mudhuma says perhaps the one party that really is bringing something to the table here is Kanu. Why? Because of the grassroots connections that they have. And he says, look, you can't write anyone off in politics. What are their chances? What are the chances of this particular team, Weda, from where you sit?
First of all, the Kanu Jogo, that one is dead. That one was buried in 2002. The rest are remnants. But President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, Baba, said Kanu was and will rule for 100 years. They have done 50. When he didn't say Kanu was the party, Kanu as a party, Kanu as his offsprings. Offsprings, when you see in those who are now nearer to State House again, the only outsider is Honorable Raila Odinga. Honorable William Samoei Ruto, Kalonzo Musyoka, all these other people are Moi's offsprings from Kanu. Also remember when the BBI was being launched, the president faced the deputy president and complained that Hon William Samoei Ruto is not running along the relay, he's running backwards.
Running backwards, yes, I remember that.
In other words, the arrangement where, let me finish, let Mudavadi finish, then you come in, then we go on. He seems to be disrupting that. So this coalition, the former Kanu offsprings have arranged, or are trying to arrange themselves to continue. That is how you see Sir Gideon Arap Moi, Gideon Moi is coming in and is being brought in the forefront. That is how you see Musalia Mudavadi, who was President Uhuru's running mate, undeclared running mate in 2002.
Oh, yeah.
It was undeclared, but it was true. So, as you can see, this coalition is being done now, but the real coalition will come after BBI.
Okay, let's wait and see how that coalition plays out after BBI. Let's see who will join which team and how the politics of the country will go. Gentlemen, we need to wrap this up, but I need us to listen to sentiments of two coastal leaders, Kilifi Governor Kingi and Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho, with respect to a meeting that was held in State House this past week.
Tutakia kila la heri katika safari yako, lakini sisi kama Kilifi, kama Pwani, tutakutana meza ya kitaifa, manake huko ndiko tunakuwa.
Sio mwendawazimu. Niliposema nataka kuwa rais na maanisha nataka kuwa rais wa taifa hili la Kenya.
Sisi mimi na Joho tunataka kuogelea kwenye bahari. Wengine wanataka kwenda kwenye vidimbwi. Ati chama cha ukoo. Baba kweli hajasema yeye anasimama. Baba alisema yeye atatangaza baada ya BBI kukwisha.
Mudhuma, there was a meeting at State House. That meeting had the Kilifi Governor and the Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho. What comes to mind? And when you're answering that, remember that bite of Kilifi Governor Kingi when they're talking about forming a coastal party, and married with Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho saying, look, I'm not a madman. If I say I want to go for the presidency, this is what I want. And Raila Odinga coming back and saying, we don't need a coastal party, you already have ODM on the ground. And then that meeting by the president.
And if you saw what happened after they came out, they were very upbeat about the coastal party. So I think in the next few weeks, I think we may actually see the unveiling of the coast party. Remember, the coast has 1.8 million voters, and this is what they are saying. We need to be on the bargaining table. We need to be on the national table. And you remember I told you about these young governors. They want it and they want it bad. Joho, for the first time, we've seen him actually throw his entire weight in running for the presidential seat within the fraternity of ODM, where they say they will actually have some mechanism, some internal mechanism, where they will choose a candidate who will actually go to become their flag bearer on an ODM ticket. So it will be Joho, I think, with Raila on it. But I don't, at this point, to be honest, I do not think there's any candidate who can go on match one-on-one with Raila Odinga in ODM and come or emerge the winner. So this one, I give it again. I call it earlier on, 2 years before they do it, that whoever goes head to head with Raila Odinga will just lose it in the ODM primaries. But having said that, I also think we cannot fail to understand why these governors want to be in the national table. They are saying that with their votes, the coastal vote, they need to be heard and they need to be heard properly. This is the very same thing. This is the same unity that we are seeing coming out of Western. It is the very same unity that we are seeing that's coming out of Eastern. It's the same unity, so to speak, that we are also seeing coming out of Mount Kenya, and the same unity that we've witnessed in the Rift Valley and other regions. People are coming together and saying, with our votes that this region represents, we need to be heard and we need to be heard properly. The only problem with that kind of thinking, Linda, and this one I have said it time and again, I think we are going back to those cocoons that actually decimated this country by putting together what you call regional tribal blocks. It is not the best way, and here I agree with Honorable Raila Odinga. But then again, the coast people, and this is where our politics is, the coast people have a right to have their Pwani party if they choose to. And if it's going to stand for that which is good and prosperous for their people, so be it. But if it's going to be a retrogressive party where they say, whatever we say for the politicians of this region, that is how, or that will be our stand, then I don't think we are going to get, the issue of us running away from these smaller tribal blocks to making, national parties. And that's why I keep insisting that I believed at one point that NASA and Jubilee had started an amazing conversation where if you are joining one coalition, you are joining them based on that which they believe. You are joining them based on them on what they had set forth as their manifesto. You are joining them because you believed in their progressive agenda. You are joining them because you believe they will take Kenya and actually your region forward. But you see, what happened, and every coalition Zambaratikat, now we've gone to square one. I really think, Linda, we actually threw a very great chance to join our country with only having fewer coalitions. That meant well for this country.
Whether is there a concern that you have that perhaps you're now heading back to regional tribal leadership within the country, and that's something that we're trying to get away from? And even as you answer that, whether these leaders met the president at State House. He's not the only person who's met coastal leaders. Deputy President William Ruto has also met, in fact, I think the same day he met some leaders from the coastal region as well. Why is there such a clamor for the coastal region? And what political capital do you think, if at all, do these leaders bring on the table where the president is seated and having a conversation about 2022?
Linda, I don't know when we talk about coastal party, you are talking about the beaches, or you are talking about the former coast province.
Whether we're talking about a political
province,
we're talking about a political party that coastal leaders want to form.
Now, that is what I'm telling you. The former coast province reaches somewhere here near Makueni.
Whether.
So when you hear two dreamers, please. When you hear two dreamers, Joho and Kingi, talking about coast, and then you start worrying that they are going to take the coast and we are going to divide the country into smaller, whatever, those are dreamers who would like to sit at the table. The move today is actually, you can see the Western people trying to unite. You have never had people trying to say, we want to form a Nyanza party, we want to form a Rift Valley party. People are forming parties to win the presidency, to win seats. So these people are angling for a bargaining chip. They have learned from others that you start your party, then you mix with others, and then you have a bargaining chip. Why they are popular is that some of the coastal governors like Muvuria are already with the deputy president. So you have to take the ones who are there. Who is there? Joho. Who is there? Kingi. So the president is also trying to rope them in. How do you rope them in without them either defecting from ODM or whatever? For them to start saying, we are forming our party, we are on our own, we don't have to talk to anybody. Then now they form them, then you say we are combining again. Otherwise, left on their own, those guys their time is over. They would not meet the threshold required to have a strong regional party. So worrying about them dividing the coast, that's out. What is there is that you will have to deal with the new coalition, you will have to deal with Raila's coalition, you will have to deal where the president is, you will have to deal with the chicken seller. These are the people like Joho, like Weda forming parties. Those ones will be fringe parties for bargaining, briefcase for sale. Why would the president call them? The president has been calling people. He has been talking to them whenever he goes to the coast. But now, because things are getting thicker, the chief chicken seller is having his meetings. There must be activity on this other side. That is why you see these meetings. Otherwise, I still repeat, the real coalitions after BBI, for now, they want the BBI to pass. Once it passes, even Wakina Joho may go back to ODM, they may go to wherever. It will be crystallizing at that time. The president is very keen, very careful, and very, very organized. Organized strategy that will baffle many of you.
Many of who? Whether?
all of you, Kenyans, you will have to go with the TV to say, Your Excellency, what are you announcing now? And you will be doing headlines and you'll be calling us to analyze. The president has 1,001 strategists. These are the guys, they have their cousins and brothers, strategists in Kidogo in the forest, then they announce. For the president, everything is being analyzed, and you are moving step by step.
Muduma.
You see, I told you they won't share the enthusiasm that Weda has, but at least he has made a point which I tend to agree with,
which is
that, you know, what the president wants to pass at this point is BBI. And I think he's trained his sites, which you have to give it to him. He's trained his sites on ensuring that BBI passes. So once that passes, Linda, then I think we will see the formations of these coalitions coming now. Probably they'll have a better gluing, if you will, and we may actually see people joining coalitions we never thought we would see them join. But again, remember, this is politics. Every person, as I told you earlier on, Linda, or every coalition, once they start after BBI, whatever happens to BBI or after the referendum, every coalition will have a mathematical chance, depending on the strategies that they employ to win that coveted seat. So I do not think it's really something that we should really, again, dislike what is doing. The fact that these governors are coming together, there is something that somebody like Joho knows. There is something.
And that's what I wanted to put across to you, Muduma. Muduma, hold on. That's what I wanted to put across to you. What political, the same question I asked Weda, political capital that these leaders are bringing to the table, Weda seems to think, I mean, these guys are not bringing anything.
No, come on. No. It's all about the numbers. Let me tell you something. These are people who have been governors for 2 terms. Becoming a governor in this country is not an easy feat. You must know the people. You must be able to know how to address, how to talk. You must have that political oomph of getting elected in a place like Mombasa. So I do not really think that these guys are just coming empty-handed. Probably you have seen, I mean, there's something you have to give to Joho. He is somebody who can drum up very good support. He knows how to address himself. He knows how to talk. He's somebody who can move a few people here and there. And tell you what, when it comes to 2022, every little number will matter. And you will see, Linda, you will see, when the whistle to start these deep campaigns goes off, trust me, most of the time we'll be looking for leaders who've been elected in the past, because they know 1 or 2 things when it comes to bringing people together, when they also know how to carry the message from, one leader to the other. So it is not a mean feat that you can, look and do somebody like Kingi or somebody like Governor Joho. No, I think when the right time comes, they'll come with an element of political capital. So it is not right to diss them. Same way I've always told people, look at a place like what we saw in a place like Machakos. When you're going against somebody and the race is coming to the wire, any advantage that you get, political or otherwise, counts, because sometimes that 5 or that 500, that 1,000 votes really do make a major difference towards giving a winner or a loser. So I think they are bringing in a lot of capital when it comes to the coast.
That's a good place to end it. Thank you so much, Gabriel Muduma. Where do you get the final word in 30 seconds?
Thank you so much, fellow Kenyans. I trust that allow me just to tell them, those who are bringing stories and porojo and panganga about the COVID vaccines, please stop it. If you have been requested to go for vaccination, go running. Don't listen to bush scientists who are bringing stories, blood clots, Stop it. Go for this. We are in a danger zone, but God is on our side. Thank you.
By the way, Weda, you're in Kisumu. The cessation of movement in and out of this particular zone. How do you plan to get back?
Thank you. I am a lawyer, and we have a court order that designates lawyers as essential service providers. That court order is still valid. It is still there. But other than that, I would comply.
Muduma, what are you trying to say?
I can stay at home throughout. I am in Kobewa, I'm in Kisumu, I'm running, I'm making the presidential race preparations for 2032.
Muduma, what are you saying?
Whether enjoy Kisumu for the next 60 days, the only thing I'll emphasize is that what you said, which is very true. People should get vaccinated. We should take this way very seriously. And more than that, Linda, I think we should still not remove our sights with what is going on in our coast with Somalia. I think we have said it and we need to repeat it. Kenya must be given the respect that they deserve when it comes to them, really grounding their footing.
Trust me, that's a diplomatic conversation that I know is being held way up there.
It is.
Muduma, I need to wrap this up. I really need to wrap this up.
Move an inch.
Muduma, this is a diplomatic conversation that has very little to do with you and I. So let's wait and see how that plays out.
It actually, Linda, actually has everything to do with us when the fishermen in Lamu are not able to use or to fish in the waters that they use to fish.
I need to wrap this up. I absolutely have to. Muduma, come on.
This issue is in the ICJ, and we need to stand and be patriots.
People.
Linda.
Wait 10 seconds.
Linda.
This is another Migigo.
Muduma, wait 10 seconds.
For them. I'm saying we are remembering our candidates, our sons and daughters who are doing KCSE.
Yeah.
May God be with them,
Amen.
protect them, and they have success.
Have a good evening, gentlemen. Gabriel Muduma, thank you so much for speaking to us and for always being available to speak to us on Checkpoint, and Ambrose Weda as well joining us from Kisumu. Weda, enjoy your 60 days in Kisumu. People, sleep well. Have a good night. I am Linda Ogutu.